Hello, fellow players of Hero Wars. I'm Jay. Welcome to Jay vs. Hero Wars. Today we'll be talking about the Advent calendar, right? The new December calendar, as well as the two brand new heroes that we have, the siblings, Kayla and Aiden. So without further ado, let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we are in game. We have the Advent calendar. Now as you know, if you do get the ticket, you get 3 times the reward. Now I know there was an error actually this morning, last night, depending on where you're at, for the rewards. You can see there I got 10 soul stones of Kayla. You need 30 to summon her, so if you do have the winter pass active, you automatically get to summon Kayla. Now, Kayla's a pretty good hero, and we'll get to that in a second, but let's start first by looking at this. So we actually know every single one of these rewards, at least the anticipated rewards, and I will show that to you right now. So let's take a quick look at that. We can clearly see here Kayla, day 1, and of course, right, it's 30 soul stones here because this is a ×3. Someone purchased the ticket when they did this. They also got 1,000 outland coins, 2 bottled energy, 900. It looks like items for ascension, 300 strength skin stones, 5 pet eggs, so on and so forth. So you can kind of take a look there and see what we're getting. It looks like diagonally we're getting some Kayla soul stones. So at the minimum, if you do log in for what looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days, so almost 2 weeks, you're guaranteed 30 soul stones minimum, right? So that is the ability to summon Kayla. So that is how we can for sure summon her. And with that, let's take a quick closer look at Kayla right now. All right, guys, so this is what Kayla kind of looks like for us. And what am I? A good-for-nothing daughter, a butcher to my own people, the last of the Asian elves, or a monster stinking with the filthy demon blood that flows in my veins? I have no answer, but I know Aiden and I have embarked on the path to bring light and hope to the Dominion. We'll be walking down the path until I'm consumed by the fiery frenzy once more. So, obviously, a very passionate hero, a very, I guess, attempting to be for the good hero, and another sibling. So watch out, Lars and Krista. These two, Kayla and Aiden, are coming for you, I guess, right? So first skill here, we got Phoenix's Fury. Kayla launches a chakram that casts the Phoenix Glyph on enemies. Phoenix Glyph applies burn to enemies, dealing pure damage over 6 seconds. If the enemy is already marked, basically this attack has already gone off, and then there's a second one, then the glyph explodes, dealing physical damage and the remaining pure damage. So then we also have Raging Sparks. Kayla's basic attack targets enemies with a Phoenix Glyph, strikeout sparks that deal physical damage to nearby enemies. Now, I think this is cool, especially if you're facing someone who's using maybe Rufus, for example. So could be very useful in the future, especially probably in Grand Arena, as well as the COW, of course, right? Clash of Worlds. We got Ruled by Fire. If Kayla's health is over 60%, she leaps behind the farthest enemy and self-ignites. She basically deals a bunch more damage, but also loses health as she goes. And then she stops and leaps back once she drops below 30% health, which I think is risky, but it is an interesting play. So I really like this move if you are not facing someone who targets the weakest enemy. So, I would be wary if I had like maybe Kark on the opposing team. I think this would be a scary skill to be playing with, a double-edged sword, if you will. But I like it. I like the concept. It's kind of a distractor, similar to heroes like Luther and Yasmin, right, going to the other side of the opponents and dealing damage. You got Overheat here. After Kayla stops burning, she becomes overheated, gains bonus armor and magic defense. So this is when she hops back to her side and is recovering. She gets some bonus armor and magic defense, so it does help her heal, but I'm not really sure if it's going to be enough if you're, dealing with someone like Kark, who's a pretty heavy hitter, or maybe even Orion, and then you have some issues there. Now we also have Aiden, who's coming later in the month. So my thoughts on this is that we're going to see Aiden probably halfway through Winterfest, so probably the second half of the month. and we'll see focus mainly on Kayla, of course, the first half. So we got a healer mage role here in Aiden. He says, "How amusing! I'm the great lord of a land that no longer exists, a barren, scorched wasteland that spells death. I was much too young when I was forced to discover the cruelty of fire and the power of sibling bond. Kayla and I are bound by more than blood, for we share one life between us." So I'm not really sure what that means, but obviously it looks like they are meant to work together. Phoenix's embrace. Aiden casts a shield on himself and the farthest ally. So in this case, you'd probably not want to have Yasmin and or Luther on your team because they might end up being further depending on how things work out. I don't really know. Shield absorbs any damage for 5 seconds. On deactivation, allied shield explodes, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies and casting the Phoenix glyph on them. Cast the Phoenix glyph on the nearest enemy without a glyph. So a lot of Phoenix glyphs between the two of these siblings. We got Aiden and Kayla, right? So we got Inner Fire. Aiden unleashes a fire wave, healing all allies except himself. Also recovers health once every 2 seconds, starting from the beginning of the battle, boosting the next healing fire wave. Once Aiden's health drops below 30%, he self-ignites, doubling his health regeneration. He stops burning once his health is above 60%. So kind of the opposite of what we, well, not the opposite, but similar to his sister in a sense, where once he's in danger, he quickly tries to rectify that situation. We got Bonds of Flame, establishes a mutual bond with the farthest ally, or with Kayla if she is on the ally team. That's great because now you don't have to worry about necessarily having to use, worrying about not using Luther or Yasmin. The bound ally becomes a target of Phoenix Embrace. The heroes have shared health, passing any health, healing, or damage taken to each other. They also gain a bonus that scales with their basic armor and magic defense stats. Now that seems good and bad because I kind of am concerned if he can't heal himself right prior to this inner flame going off. That could be kind of concerning. So it'll be very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting combination of brother, sister, twins, if we will, but I'm not really sure it counts as twins because we don't know their age. But it is very interesting. We're having some more siblings here. I think this might be our third pair of siblings, if I'm not mistaken. Kayla and Aiden. You also have obviously Lars and Krista, but if I am I mistaken in thinking Corvus and Morgan are somehow related? Let's see. Oh, okay, it's his daughter. So they're related. Some familial ties, but not necessarily siblings. Got it. Okay, so I'm on the same page now there. But yeah, overall, it's looking like we're going to have some exciting new heroes coming to the Minion very, very soon. We got a good picture of what to see for the Advent calendar. So it's going to be exciting times. We also have Winterfest coming up. So make sure you're saving your keys for the airship, right, to unlock some artifacts in the artifact chest. And we should have a fairly good time. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It really does help a lot. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys very soon in Dominion.